Okay, we'll start off this haul with a Selfie Drone. This is it's got brushless motors and prop guards. It's from this company called Sim2. It's called the Moment. It's also known as the Hoshi 007 Pro Pocket Selfie Drone. Folds up, comes in this pretty nice box. Get it out of here and let's see what we got. And inside the box, the drone looks like it's inside of a case. So we'll take a look at that in a second. And we got some accessories here on the bottom. We got a little wrench or Allen key and a really tiny user manual. USB cable. So we got an AC adapter for probably charging the battery, I assume. And this one is 12 volt and 3 amp. And of course they give you the cord for the charger or the AC adapter, and it's got a US plug on it. Let's take a look at what we got here inside the little case. Oh, very nice. I'm kind of glad that they are providing the cases now for these little drones, because it saves time trying to find something, even though these things are kind of small. But this one's a little bit bigger than your typical selfie drone. See, my hands cover these up. I think these are a little bit bigger motors. Got a battery charger here. It looks like it charges by USB or by that power adapter. And this is the battery. Looks like it's proprietary, and it's a looks like it's a 2-cell 2900 milliamp hour lithium ion battery. It's pretty small for that, for 2900 milliamps. And there's the drone itself. Plastic construction, brushless motors here. Not sure what the prop size is or the pitch. These little fins here are flexible, so I guess that's good. Probably won't snap in a crash, but anything hits it from the side. These prop guards are very strong, and very little chance of getting a finger in here, so that's good. And of course this unfolds like so. It flies like this. We got some sensors underneath here. I think ultrasound and maybe an optical flow sensor. And you got a camera here in the front. This is mechanically tiltable by, I think it's by the controller or the app on this. Is the Wi-Fi. I think it's a 4K camera and maybe 1080p downscale. Not 100% sure. I have to look at the manual, but here's some of the specs on here. Obviously the battery goes there. Yeah, it looks like it folds up and unfolds pretty easily. Should be a fun little selfie drone to fly. I'll have a review on this coming up pretty soon. Okay, we got some new batteries here from Beta FPV. Got a 2-cell 600 milliamp hour 80 to 160C, and it looks like a lot of these batteries that are coming out now are including both the JST and the XT30 connector on here. It's a good length there. This is not too long, not too short, so I like that. Comes in a pack of 2, so I'll probably do a flight review on one of the 2.5-inch micros. I think the 2.5-inch micros can do could use a little bit bigger batteries. I typically fly the 450s on the 2-inch ones, and I think the 2.5-inch ones need a little bit more juice to increase their flight time, so I'll be experimenting with this, so stay tuned for that. And I also picked up some of these also from Beta FPV. These are the 1S 260 milliamp hour. I think they're 30 to 60C, so not a high C rating, but these are high volt, 4.35 volts. They have the power whoop connector or the PH connector or the 2.0 millimeter connector. It comes by a bunch of different names. I'm going to be testing these out on the BAT 100 that I reviewed recently, and it's a good size here. This comes with a really heavy 500 milliamp hour battery, and I think that the lighter batteries that are a little bit lower capacity give this a little bit more acrobatic ability, but it cuts down the flight time. But I'll do some flight testing in this one and see if the high volt makes any difference in terms of performance, so we'll see. Okay, you got another selfie drone. This one's a lot lower cost. I think the Sim 2 is probably like $250, and this one here from Asia, I think this is the E56, I believe. Comes in a case as well, but this one's brushed, and it's one of those folding drones. I think they just keep making iterations here of this design and keep improving it a little by little. I'm not exactly sure what the specs are on this. I think this has altitude hold. Obviously, see here, it's a folding drone like the E50. That was like the first one. Oh, and the arm snapped this time. And oh yeah, these are the same brushed motors, same proprietary battery, but I think they've changed the design a little bit. Obviously it's Wi-Fi FPV again, and this is tiltable. I'm not sure if it's tiltable by software or not, but yeah, that's kind of interesting that it comes in a case now, and this controller is really different. It's a single hand controller. It's got a button here, on off switch there. This looks like something from a Nintendo Wii or something like that. This is really interesting. So yeah, this will be interesting to test out. Got a USB charger here. Got a manual, spare props, and a screwdriver. But yeah, I'll have a review on this coming up pretty soon. Okay, we got another micro drone from Awesome. I think this is the UB XV95. Okay, so here's a quick look at it. This looks really similar to the King Kong 95 GT, and also a smaller version of the UB, I think it was the 130 from last year. But this is a micro version. This is the 1103 7500 kV motors from Awesome. These are black, not purple. Yeah, very interesting. Comes with a receiver. I think this is a FreeSky receiver, the XVII receiver. Built-in video transmitter. So we got some white and black versions of the GemFan 2035 props. I'm not sure if these are clones or not. No, in fact, these are actually genuine GemFans, and you're probably not going to see that in the camera, but the Rotorex and GemFan logos are etched in the prop like the other ones. I've never seen the white and black ones before, so that's kind of interesting. Got the same prop guards that came with the Awesome Q95 and the F100. Got a black spare canopy, and you get the same 500 milliamp hour LiPo that came with the F100. Screws for mounting your props and rubber band, and this is an extra receiver pigtail. I think the parts are the same on the inside electronically, which is why they have the same manual that the F100 had. So it's probably got the same flight controller, which has a built-in video transmitter and OSD, and the 4-in-1 Biel-Heli ESCs, and of course it's got the non-standard size board here. That's why you have the same manual for this one and this one. Okay, we got another drone from Awesome. This is a larger 5-inch drone. It's the F200. So they had the F100, which is the micro version with the 2-inch props. This is the full-size version, 200 millimeters with 5-inch props. Okay, so we have some interesting props here. I think I've seen these before. I'm not sure who makes them, but it's not like a Dell prop or anything like that. These are 50-42 size props. Got some battery straps, and probably these are some receiver connectors, micro connectors for the flight controller. Alright, we got a very large circular polarized antenna here that is Awesome branded. I think this is an SMA connector, so it's got a little pin there in the antenna. Got some hardware for the motors. These are T motors, so you got the prop nuts, some extra screws, and some C-clips. And here's the drone itself. There's no instructions, there's no battery, and so I'm not exactly sure where the instructions are. Probably online somewhere. Looks like we got a RunCam Swift. I'm not sure if that's the first Swift or the second Swift, but it's obviously you can have a lot of camera tilt here if you want. Obviously you would adjust the angle here with that screw. And interestingly, it's got it looks like again, non-standard size perhaps, I'm not sure. I think that's 30 by 30. Yeah, my eyes are deceiving me here. It's optical illusion. I think that's a standard 30 by 30 board. Flight controller with video transmitter looks like, and then you got a 4-in-1 ESC down there. So very nice little neat little stack there. Little pigtail for your SMA connector. Don't see a receiver. Yeah, it doesn't appear that there's a receiver on this one. XD60 connector here. All countersunk screws in the bottom, so it's totally flat. Got some LEDs and lights underneath the motor here, and I think the star of the show here is going to be these motors. They're from T-Motor. They're the F40s, F40s 2, the second version, 2600 kV, and yeah, I can tell that these are some nice motors. Got a hollow shaft there, so this should be a very nice performer. If you're looking for something in the $200 range, I would definitely check this one out. It's a little more expensive than the B-Fight, that 210 that I reviewed a couple weeks ago, but this is much nicer components. These T-motors are definitely way better as well. Okay, we got another drone here, a little micro drone. It's called the Octopus Racing Drone F90 Pro. And it looks like this is from IdeaFly. So the company is called IDF Tech or IdeaFly. Looks like these are running some 2-inch props, GemFan 2035s. You got some extra screws in there. USB charger, looks like for a 2S battery, is for a balance lead. And it comes with a battery, 2S battery, 7.4 volts, 400 milliamps, C rating unknown, JST connector. This is a pretty common size. Looks like this is the only size battery that'll fit in here because it's fixed. The battery's got a fixed mounting, so you need something similar in size to stay in here. And, oh, this is very interesting. The flight controller board or ESC board, whatever this is on the bottom, is built into the board or the actual structure of the drone. So yeah, I'm not sure if that's going to hold up too well, because if you snap an arm here, because there's no wires going to the... Oh man, never mind, there's wires there on that side that go into the ESCs. I'm a little wary that you snap this arm, you're probably going to break something. You have to replace the whole frame, which includes the flight controller, so it might be a little more expensive to do that. And very unusual, and you got a little USB port here off to the side. Supposedly this is waterproof, so I can see there's some sort of a coating on here on the electronics, so in case it gets wet, that should be okay. You've got the same GemFan 2-inch props here, blue this time. No markings on the motor itself. I have no idea what the kV is. It's probably an 1104, like 7500 kV. That's pretty common. But it looks like everything's enclosed inside here. Can't really see inside. But it has, you know, same kind of like all-in-one micro camera VTX combo. This comes with an OSD. JST connector on the bottom. This is probably pretty typical components on the inside, and I'll have to take a closer look at the specs on the website, but this is supposedly waterproof, so I'm not sure what kind of receivers in here either. We'll have to find out when I do the review, but yes, it's kind of interesting. If it's really waterproof and you can fly this in the rain, or if dunking it in a lake or something is okay, then yes, this is kind of an interesting product, so definitely we'll do a full review on this. Okay, we got this new product here from Jackery. I think this is some sort of a power bank, I think. So this is some kind of a mobile power bank, power bar. Yeah, this looks like it charges up USB devices and also has AC output. So I thought this would be interesting for people that do a lot of charging at the field. This thing's actually really heavy. We got a little USB outlet back here. I don't think this is available retail yet. I'm not 100% sure. I have to go back and I don't remember the email that I got from them, but I got a quick charge 3.0 port, USB Type-C in and out, and 5 volt 2.4 amps here. And yeah, I was looking for the capacity, and it says this is a 20,800 milliamp hour capacity. So got a whole bunch of stats here. Quick charge 3.0, 3.6 volts to 6 volts at 3 amps, 6 volts to 9 volts at 2 amps, and 9 volts to 12 volts at 1.5 amps. So yes, pretty interesting. Anyway, I'll go ahead and test this out and see how useful this is for charging the field. It's fairly heavy, but not too heavy. You could definitely fit this in a backpack and carry it around. But you see, with that sort of capacity, how much charging I can do. Obviously, things like that. I have a lot of things I'll charge on USB in the field, like battery chargers and goggles, for example. So this might actually come in pretty handy. So thought I'd at least take a look at this for you guys and see if it's worth checking out. Okay, we got another RunCam camera here. This is the Sparrow NTSC PAL switchable 16.9. Is this another Eagle camera perhaps? 16.9. I'm not sure if it's CMOS or CCD. Here's what the camera looks like. It's got VBAT sensor. Looks a lot like the Eagle, but maybe it's a little bit different version. Not sure. 2.1mm lens. I think it's at 150 degree field of view. What else we got here? Typical stuff here. OSD cable, spare case, spare back, different back here. Screws and nuts and washers, and you got your video cables and such. So yeah, typical stuff here. Interesting 16.9 camera. Not sure if it's CCD or CMOS, but I guess I'll research that and we'll find out later. Okay, so we got a bunch of accessories that came in for the SJ7 Star action camera that came in the last haul. And this is a wristwatch remote, and I think it's waterproof, so you can control the camera underwater via this little remote. We got a external microphone here, and this plugs into the mini USB port right there. I think that's all that's in here, so should improve your audio if you're using it for like vlogging, for example. And we have a selfie stick. It's just one of those extension ones with a GoPro attachment at the top. Nothing too fancy there. We've got a car charger with looks like a window mount, suction cup window mount, so you can maybe use that as a dash cam. Probably that's what it's for, and then obviously charging here. And this is a 40.5mm filter adapter, so you can, it actually comes with a UV filter. You attach that to the front of the camera, and you can put on different I guess filters like UV filters, ND filters, that kind of stuff that might improve the quality of your video. So I'll be testing that out as well. Okay, I got some the 1940 tri-bladed gem fan Hulky props that are Crazy Pony or being sold by Crazy Pony. So you can pick these up at Amazon. I think you get 16 props total, or 8. What's that? That'll be 4 sets. So you get some white ones and some blue ones here, and these are the 1940s, a little bit shorter and a little bit more blunt on the ends compared to the 2040s. But I'll be testing these out too in a future video. And we have here the new Ascent version 2 frame, so I'll be probably doing a Lizard 95 conversion and moving the parts over to this. Obviously this is a 2-inch frame. I'll be using the GemFan 2035 props on those. Yeah, so look out for a video for a Lizard conversion, probably going to be using this frame.